Step in and grab your mic. You just entered into the mic drop spotlight, where you rise and speak with authority. Luke 10:19 reminds us we've been given authority, and nothing the enemy throws can stop the fire God lit. From a flicker to a bonfire, I'm Miss Red Speaks. I'm unmuted for the kingdom. Now, I want you to know what my purpose is. My purpose is to mic drop on the enemy's lies. But first, being honest with yourself. So I'm going to start, and this is my official coming out, sharing my full testimony. Before I was unmuted, what did I go through? What did I walk through? And I want to be able to paint that and give you the raw version and my truth. This is my story. This is my voice, and I'm here to speak. So for the next couple of weeks, I want you to join with me. And I'm going to be allowing you at the end to leave questions. Because remember, I'm not just here for me. I'm here for you as well. Because we're going to be honest with ourselves first. Welcome, Flame Keepers. This month, I'm doing something I've never done like this before. It's like a bonfire. I'm telling my story, the raw version, the bonfire version. And I want you to know up front, this isn't for pity. This isn't for applause. This is so you understand why I'm misread, how I got here, and who carried me through every flame. I won't be using real names. This is my disclaimer. Out of respect for people who are involved. This is not about blame. This is about truth and walking through the fire. I'm not here to glorify pain. I'm here because testimonies set captives free. This is mine. All right, you guys. All right, you guys, here we go. We are about to step into my raw version. There was a time I was silent, not because I had nothing to say, but because life had taught me that my voice didn't matter. That what I carried was very heavy. In fact, it was too heavy. It was too much. Too misunderstood, so I masked it. I buried it and I muted myself. But before I ever found the mic, before I ever stood in authority, before I ever called myself a daughter of the Most High, I was battling in the shadows. You see, many people want to meet you after the healing, but I want to take you to the war before the testimony. This space, this mic, this moment isn't performance. This is permission. Permission to be real, raw, and redeemed. So I want to go ahead and I want to walk you into what did Miss Red go through? What did that look like? And if you are new to Miss Red, I want to let you know that I am always painting a story, but it's because you never know what somebody have walked through just by them rushing in and telling you. You need to know every detail so that if you do have me misunderstood today, if you are looking at me as you see me as today and thinking that it just came easy, it just came quick, it came fast, This is where I'm here to help you understand who I am. So sit back, whether you're in the comfort of your home, you got on your favorite earbud, or you are driving and I'm on your speakerphone. Adjust your volume so that you can hear me clear, because we are here together. We are here to walk through this together. And thank you for taking the time out so that you can hear my story. I was a little girl who used to sit at the window every night, not because I love looking at the stars, but because that was the only place that I could breathe. Inside the house, everyone had a voice but me. Everyone had a voice but me. Now, I do want to insert right here because I know that there will be people watching who have known me from elementary school or even my childhood. Even my mom could be watching and say, well, you've always had a voice. But this is why it's important for you to just listen to what I'm saying before you are to be quickly to respond. Because I might have been loud about other things, but I wasn't loud about who I was. I watched people walk by with laughter in their mouths, decisions in their hands, and space just to be themselves. I didn't want to be loud. I just wanted to be heard. But the only way that I knew that I could survive was to remain quiet, because I was constantly being misunderstood because of the circumstance, the person I was dating, because of who I would intentionally be. How many times the enemy have allowed for people to see you at the mistakes that you have made? And that's how they always looked at you, always said things about yourself. Until one day I realized the window didn't set me free. It only showed me what freedom looked like. And that is why I'm here. Before I was unmuted, I didn't even realize how many parts of me I had silenced just to keep peace. So, as many of you guys know, I am a mother of 4 heartbeats. I have 1 daughter, 3 boys. Praise God. They're not little toddlers stepping on my toes, needing me to do diaper change or any of that. But I had to walk through that. So when I started out, how I became a mom, I had always grew up in a loving home. My mom and my dad was very outgoing. My dad was a boxer. He boxed with Evander Holyfield. And just so you know, you will get more of that story with an upcoming book that I have called The Fight. So stay tuned. Stay locked in. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell. Make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. It's for free so that you can continue to follow me, because you don't want to miss about The Fight. But I grew up in that 2-parent household where my parents kept it real, kept it raw, and they were honest. My dad was the type of dad that he was like always wanting to know who you dating and who is he and can I meet him. A lot of times I'm like, no, because half of the time I knew he wouldn't approve of them. But can I tell you, when your parents, and I'm sure many of you are watching, you could say, I'm grateful that I let my parents meet my significant one, or I wish I had let my parents meet the one that took me through so much that could have even cost your life. So then I met, I'm not even going to call him contestant number 1, more so the guy who had it all together, education, could speak very well and use big words. But that didn't back me down. That didn't scare me. I knew who I was. I mean, let's be honest. A man is not looking to see how intelligent you talk. I knew he was a freak off top. So therefore, I knew what he was looking for. And I learned that that mouth didn't speak. It was just only used for one purpose and one purpose only. So I knew that he was educated. He had a job. He wasn't a bum. So I'm doing good. Asked me to have his baby day one. So this girl, I didn't pay attention in school. And when the health department came, I was busy doing something else. When they were passing out free condoms, I surely didn't take them. I didn't even think it was really a much need. So the first night that I was able to have an encounter with him, he asked me in the midst, will you have my baby? And loving old goofy old me, sure, not understanding what single mother routine process even looked like. I was just ready to go run and tell my friends, girl, I done found a man. Didn't even tell them the details because they didn't even need to know how stupid I was, how gullible I was, because I needed to even make my friends think that I was smart and that I had something good going on. Until it was time to announce I was pregnant. Until it was time to announce that I was going to do it by myself. And the doing it by myself was a choice that I signed up for, that I didn't even know what I was going to walk through, that I didn't even know the significance of the hurt, the pain, the stubbornness, and I'ma do me mindset was going to cost me. I didn't know the damage that was going to come. I didn't know how I was this vibrant little girl in a household with her mom and her dad, that I would be silenced from man number one because of the response. I'm pregnant, excited, but I need a DNA test. Kind of threw me because you said in the midst, I want you to have my baby. So that was thrown off, but you know, that was the first hit. That was the first way of tearing at me, beginning to weaken my mindset and start playing with my emotion. But it didn't really knock me down. So I stood up and I said, I'll give you one. And so I did. In the midst, I was called hot in the pants. Well, yeah, you got in my pants. Then I was called lack of education because I wasn't in college at the time. Now he was. I just graduated. So for my summer graduation celebration, I got pregnant. That's what I was celebrating. It's nothing to brag about, and I'm not ashamed of my story. Because I know by me being unmuted today, I went through the fire. And I know who brought me through. It was the Most High. But thank God, even when I didn't know, even in my adolescence, that I didn't even have a clue what I was beginning to sit at and welcome into my life. I just know that I grew up seeing my mom and dad make things happen. I can take care of this new life. Didn't know that it came with no sleep. I have to feed. I have to change diapers. So guess what? Now I'm being weakened again because it was no longer about myself. So who I thought I was when I was in my high school days, able to sneak off with a guy and come back home and do my thing, and got my parents and the surrounding world thinking she's a good girl. She just played volleyball. She's this, and all the good things that we had until it was exposed. So now I'm introduced to a new blow. That's when I told myself I don't even matter. Something that I began to speak to myself. That was another part that began to crush me, to silence me. How can I even speak up? How can I even have confidence? Look at you now. You are a mother with no husband. So then I tried to paint that, make it look good, make it look like it wasn't really much of anything while I'm going through the DNA process. By the way, that's not a quick thing to have to walk into an office and a woman that don't even look like me at all, physically, don't even talk like me, walked up and said, please sign in and have a seat and go join the rest. Join the rest? Hold on. And I'm like, well, okay, I've always been respectful. So as I'm sitting over there, some moms were at it, and he gonna know he might, and I'm over there kind of a little nervous because that wasn't me. It wasn't my characteristic. I knew the real me inside was trying to move around, but I had to tell her to be quiet. There was a new me now. So then as I stepped up with my baby, we were told to open our mouths so that they could swab. She didn't look at me the way that God been seeing me. She didn't speak to me the way God speaks to me. She didn't even carry me throughout the process the way that God carried us through the process. I was just another single mother, another human being with the same mistake, the same tragedy, and another story. What is yours to tell? That was another blow. That was another hit. That was another tragedy. So then as I continue on, my mom and my dad fell in love with my baby girl. They were there for her, but it's time for me to move on. I need a new man. Baby and carrier, car seat and all. I need a new man. I'm not going to walk around here and do it by myself. I need someone to step in and not be a father to her, be my man. Now, this is where I want to insert, because a lot of men tend to misunderstand me here. A lot of people tend to misunderstand this period. They begin to think that women who have this type of lifestyle, their father was no good, their father wasn't there. Where did your father drop the ball? You guys, not only did I not know who the Most High was and didn't care to get to know who he was, I surely wasn't listening to my earthly father. I was rebellious. I was stubborn. When my father would tell me to do something, I bucked it every single time, not understanding what I know today, that was a spirit from a generational cycle that was only in place to come take me out, to silence me. But there was still this little girl on the inside waiting to speak out. So what happened in the first relationship? Did we ever get married? No. We didn't even date throughout my pregnancy. In fact, I was dating other men. I was. I don't even know if they're watching. They might scroll across and go, oh my gosh, I remember her. Because let me tell you something. When you become obedient, you don't think things will try to wrap back around. That's the reason why I will never allow for my story to keep me silent. I will tell you before I even let them, and much less the enemy, begin to speak the words. I walked through this and I seen who brought me through, and that was Jesus, who doesn't hold anything when you repent, surrender, and let go. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to give you the raw version. Somebody, even if it's one person, will be able to relate to number one. Somebody is going to understand when they had that stubborn mindset and how it began to build things on as years was to come that kept leading them down the wrong path. Somebody's going to understand how it feels to be misunderstood, mishandled, abused, silenced, and feeling as if you didn't have a voice. And that's why I sat in the house looking at the window, looking outside the window and wondering, when would I ever be able to feel that freedom? And so I'm here to let you know, I did end up finding another guy, but I went from someone that was a mama's boy to a wolf in sheep clothing. And that I will bring you on next week. But I want to give you the opportunity in this moment, because that's a lot. Some of y'all are probably feeling like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Some of y'all are probably feeling like, I knew this. But I want to turn it into you. I want you to take a moment. What did you receive as you heard me speaking? What were you thinking? What questions even came to yourself? Or what were you feeling? And this is what I want you to do. I want you to leave a comment, to leave a question in there. And before you go, I don't want someone to read it and think it's some crazy question or statement. Over here, I want you to know something that's very, very important. This is for the too much for some, battle tested, truth filled, still healing, unmuted warriors, called not convenient, surrendered not performative. You're my audience. I'm not for everyone. And it's not to be cocky, it's to be honest with truth. Because everybody can see someone on a platform and they will come listening to be argumentative or see what they can pull from. But over here, I connect with those that I can sharpen with. It's a bonfire. You don't come sit at my bonfire and act as if you cannot have the confidence to tell your story and somebody say something and misread. Don't go, excuse me, how did you even get here? Who invited you? That's how much I got your back, because I know what it feels like. I know exactly what it feels like. You can have a very outgoing personality, but the enemy have always tried to silence you. You can be loving and the enemy tried to rip that kindness out and turn you into a villain. You can be doing the right things and he's always sent things to try to hem you up, to make you be isolated. I'm not going to deal with anybody, but that's over with. Because Miss Red, I have stepped up. I have the mic and I'm unmuted for the kingdom. And that's who I'm looking for. So leave your comment. And if you feel necessary that it's too much, inbox me. I check everything and I will go back and respond to every comment. You give me some time, because God is first and man and everything else will come in order. I have to be obedient to my Father, but I give you my word. I want to engage. I want to conversate, and I want me and you to remain unmuted for the kingdom. Thank you so much for stepping in. The mic is going off, but the bonfire is still burning. Stay unmuted. Miss Red.